Welcome to episode 53 of A Message From. We're your hosts. I'm Alyson.
I'm Edward.
And how's your day going?
Oh,
how you doing?
It's fine.
It's fine. Nothing exciting. Nothing interesting.
No, truly nothing. I went to the restro, but that's
fun.
it.
So
it was really
lately,
busy. It was like not that fun.
Oh, that's sad.
Sorry, what were you saying?
I was going to say lately all I've been doing is watching Peaky Blinders and I'm caught up. There's going to be one final season. So sad. So sad it's over. It's such a good show.
I didn't realize it was still on.
So, yeah, it started ages ago.
Yeah, right?
And it's been on my watch list on Netflix for years, for like a very long time. And I feel like one day I tried to start watching it and I think I went through like the first 30 seconds and I was like, this is not my vibe today. And I was just like, I'll get it later, get it next time. Well, next time is 2022 and
so you haven't really been keeping up at all.
It's so good.
Oh.
No, I watched it all, like season 1 through season 5.
Oh, I thought this was like you then watched it like 3 years later and then you've been like keeping up since then or whatever.
No. It's been on the watch list for like 3 years at least, but I literally didn't even start it until now.
Oh, some people really are into it.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about it.
It's very good. I recommend it. You should watch it.
Yeah.
You're not going to.
No. No. I feel like people tell me that a lot. About there are like a certain like set of like 10 shows that people just like always recommend. It's like Mad Men, Breaking Bad, Peaky Blinders. Like
Mad Men is not my vibe at all. I just know. Breaking Bad, I didn't finish it. I think I watched 4 seasons, maybe 5, and then I'm just like, I don't even care. I don't even care to finish it. When I don't watch it, who cares? But
it's like that group of TV shows that everyone's always like, oh my God, you haven't seen, XYZ. The Office, or I had just thought of another one, but I forget it.
Parks and Rec?
I guess that one kind of too, yeah.
That one's a good one.
That one is a good one. I have seen that. But yeah, we'll see if it happens, if it ever happens.
Or like The Golden Girls. Have you started watching that? We all know you haven't seen it.
But The Golden Girls is different. That's like much older.
How is it different?
It's much older.
Yeah, but it's on TV like 4 different channels for 8 hours a day. And it has been since the day I was born.
But that's what I'm saying. Like that's not in this group of like shows that everyone always says like, oh, you have to watch because it's like TV. That's like TV land shit.
We get ya. I get ya. So I know what you've been watching lately. Well, I know what you were watching yesterday. A Benidorm Fest, because I saw 2 billion tweets about it.
Yes. I am torn by the final.
Well,
torn.
Okay. I doubt most people know what this even is. So
True,
please explain.
I don't know the whole backstory, but this year Spain has decided to choose their Eurovision song / competitor champion.
This is Hunger Games candidate. Out here. Their champion.
Yeah, they decided to do it basically like mini Eurovision, which is like, as far as I know, basically like Little Sanremo, like I think they've done it before in the past. There was like some allusion to that. I didn't really look into it, but they did it this year that way. So there was 2 semifinals and a final. It happened this week. It was very short because like it's just Spain, and there's like, there was like 2 nights of like 8 people or something like that. 4 from each got through, and then like the final happened. There were a lot of good songs. There were a lot of not good songs, and the final had all of that. And I really wanted I'm Mamma to win by Rigoberta Bandini.
You sent me that song, and
I did.
It's a good song, don't get me wrong, but when I was listening to it, I was like, this can't hang at Eurovision. Like, are you trying to win or not?
No, Spain cannot win. Spain was like second to last, or like I don't remember what Spain was last year, but it was really bad. We're just trying to get points this year, and the person who won will definitely get us points, but it's just like been done already. Her name's Chanel, and it's a good song, Slow-Mo. It's just like very Eleni Fodera, like Cyprus 2018. Like,
these
it's
are
just
some
been
deep
done.
Cuts that, again, most people don't understand.
But I am excited for Chanel because we'll probably do well-ish. But it's just like, I feel like there are going to be 2 or 3 acts that are similar to that. And there was another one that was like in Gallego, which was like very cool. And that one could have done pretty cool, like well as well. And then there was the one that I wanted to win, which also probably would have done well because they were both like quirkier. The Gallego one was more like folky in a way.
Oh, okay.
So it goes on like that Eurovision path, which is fine. Like usually it does pretty well.
You have to be from a certain country to go on the folky path though, and for it to work.
Well, kind of. Like the folkiness of it all, like that section of Spain is like, it looks like Scotland and like Ireland, like that part of Spain.
But that's
so
not
it's
what
got
people
the whole, like,
think
vibe.
about when they think of Spain, you know?
No, exactly. But it would have been cool to like represent it. The whole thing was like, there's no borders. It was in a co-official language. Like, it would have been cool if Spain would have sent it. And I probably would have gotten it some points as well, in my mind. But like I said, Chanel's going to do great. We'll see what else is going on out there. But I would not be surprised if it's like the same as at least one other act. So we'll find out more later. I think Sanremo is like this week.
Okay, yeah, it's happening soon. And I looked at, I have the list of competitors pulled up. And I'm like, okay, there's some good people on here. Yeah, looking at my phone again. Okay, you know what? I'm about to list the good people. Okay.
No. I said, did you see Mahmood is on there?
Oh, I thought you said looking at your phone again. I'm so a little offended from last week. No. Yeah, so Mahmood is on here with Blanco, which is good.
Excited. Love.
San Giovanni is on here. Love.
Oh, wonder if he'll do well.
Noemi, Achille Lauro. How do you say this? Like, AKA 7 or...
Oh, I don't know.
It's like all run together. I don't really know how you pronounce that artist's name, but I like some of their songs.
What is it?
AKA and then the number 7 and then EVEN.
Oh, this person. I also don't know how to say their name.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they have like their songs are like very poppy.
Yeah. So I'm
their
like,
stuff is good.
There's some good people. Who's gonna win? What's gonna happen? I
know. I'm sad that I can't actually like. Well, I probably can figure out a way to watch it, but it was just so easy for me to watch Benidorm Fest because I just you could watch it for free online. So. Yeah. Oh, I wish I could do the same as Sanremo, but I noticed it was happening because Manskins, they're posting from Sanremo. So.
Yeah, everyone's posting about it.
I know.
One last comment on like television show watching business. We have a few messages in the pipeline about 13 Reasons Why. We're going to get to those, but I think we both agree that we would have a hard time not sharing spoilers if we were to go off on 13 Reasons Why.
Absolutely. There's no way we could do a spoiler-free episode of that.
Yes. So we're going to hold off on that one for now and wait for the listener slash watcher to advance the listener slash watcher.
Oh, speaking of 13 Reasons Why, did you see that Justin got LASIK?
I did see that, and I was like, oh, good for you, so proud. Boo.
I know. He was
Even though he looks cute with glasses.
I don't really remember what he looks like. I don't know if I've seen him in that many pictures with glasses, but
maybe
I trust.
It's just because he has cute glasses.
True, but sometimes people have cute glasses and they don't look good. I was gonna say busted faces, but I don't want to be too mean. But I said it anyway.
Well, you said it anyway, so we are.
I did, yeah. But I thought the caption was funny. He was talking about how like it's like my astigmatism in one eye, and then they're also just expensive, and I hate touching my eye. And I was like, speaking my language, because I just bought contacts this week.
We've had this exact conversation in the past week.
Yeah. Bleak. Why isn't it free? It's not my job or not my fault that my eyes suck.
Yeah, we were not born asking to be blind. We did not ask for this.
Well, you said I didn't ask to be born in the conversation we had previously.
Well, I also said that too. Which is true.
It's true. It's true.
Hello, I didn't ask for this responsibility.
You did not, but this is what
here we are.
God giveth, or whatever. Speaking of what God giveth and what God taketh away from me, I watched this Instagram post, and I remember how we had talked in the group chat with Alex and Rob, how like non-alcoholic drinks are like in.
I brought it up because I saw an article about Katy Perry making some non-alcoholic aperitif, and what was the name? The name was something super, like, she was saying in these articles, like, oh, it's like being free, but controlled free. It was something weird about being like liberated and free, but like also not. But the French words she's using for it don't mean that.
Oh, it had a French. Oh, it did have a French name.
It had a French name. It was like
starting to go back to me
Dessoir or something, and I'm like, that's not what that means. Like,
oh, Dessoir. That's what it was, wasn't it?
Yeah. And I'm like, you're just making this up. I'm like, that's not what those words
that's
mean.
right. It was a really weird name.
Yeah. And I was like, this is ridiculous because I don't drink. I've never drank. I should have come up with this idea. Like, I'm the queen of making my own syrups and adding it to sparkling water and being like, ooh, look at my fancy drink.
You were also a bartender.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I know. But it's still like kind of, the fat is like bubbling, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
This video I watched had a bunch of stuff that I had never heard of before, but a few that I had. And of course, none of this stuff is available in Europe, outside of the US and potentially Canada. And I'm so mad because there's one that's called Gia that's like an actual aperitif. Like it's this similar to, like Aperol and shit like that. Yeah. I was like, God, I miss an Aperol spritz just because of the flavors. And I can't get anything like that here. So first of all, I was scorned by not being able to try hard seltzer when I did drink because it didn't exist here. Then I got sober, and then hard seltzer came to Europe. Pissed about that. And now there's no non-alcoholic spirits that I really want.
No.
I'm pissed.
It's annoying and funny all at the same time. Like, I remember it used to just be beer. There were like 2 brands of non-alcoholic beer, and we would have them at the bar, but like no one would ever drink them. So they would just like go bad in the bottom of the cooler because no one wanted them, but you like
fair
had to have them. So people
drink those here all the time though.
Estrella Galicia.
Oh, but there's
0.
like tons. There's like 0.0, there's like Malcine, but they drink them here a lot because a lot of people will be on medication for a certain amount of time, and like since drinking in public is like, or drinking on a terrace is like such a thing,
a huge cultural thing.
Yeah, the people will be like, oh, like I Malcine because like I'm on an antibiotic. And I'm like, okay, whatever. To me, it's not worth it. It doesn't taste good, I don't think.
I can't imagine it would taste good, but this is also coming from someone who would like never want to drink beer anyway, so.
Yeah, true. For me, it was just like, that's just like calories. Anyway, sad. But you should get your hands on some and try it and see if it's good.
I should. I'll test it out.
Yeah, there were a few on the Instagram post that I found that I was like, oh.
Send it to me.
I will. I'll put it in the show notes too.
Oh yeah, put it in the show notes. Share with everyone. And then I can tell you if it's better than what I would make myself. Yes.
Some of them did sort of seem just like flavored liquid. But some of them, like the Gia one, I was like, oh, this, I don't know, it had like an interesting look to it in terms of like, it looked like Bloody Mary mix.
Oh,
so I was like, oh, I don't know the thickness wise, but it was like a reddish type. I don't know. Someone out here might have tried it and is like, what the hell is he talking about? He's absolutely wrong. But you can try and tell me if it tastes like ass or not.
Will do. Can't wait to be the guinea pig.
Yeah. Well, I'm also mad because I could have just done it 2 months ago, or not 2 months ago, but like at this point, almost a month ago. 2 weeks ago.
Can you believe it's only been 2 weeks?
Yeah. Kind of. No. Time is
2
not
weeks
real.
and a day.
Yeah.
It's the 30th of January. You left on the 14th.
It's true. I did.
Time is an interesting thing.
A fickle thing.
You know, really quickly before we take a break. This book that I'm reading right now is called A Tale for the Time Being. And there's a lot of like little kind of like phrases and thoughts woven into the book about like time and time being. And it's very interesting. Also, great book. Great book. You should all read it.
Okay. All right. Well, with that recommendation, why don't we take a break?
Let's take a break. Hey everyone, this is Alyson. We just wanted to check in and say thank you so much to everyone who has listened, engaged on our Instagram, sent in a message, checked out the blog. We really appreciate it. And we would absolutely love it if you could give us a call and leave us a message at 202-630-4509 or send us a message into our DMs on our Instagram, a message from, or you can send an email as well to a messagefrompod@gmail.com. We're looking forward to hearing from you.
Welcome back from that break. Like always, we hope you enjoyed it and you took that time to write a review like we probably asked. Anyway, today our message is from the host of Let's Talk About Myths, Baby. Her name is Liv. We've talked about this podcast, I think, before. Am I right? Yeah. So quick recap. It's like a Greek mythology podcast. She dives into stories and like to makes them easier, not easier, but like, what's the word I'm looking for? She makes them like more manageable, more digestible in like modern terms. And she's been doing also more recently a lot of conversations with people about like certain topics. It's very, very interesting. So that being said, we reached out to Liv and she sent us a message. So here we go. She said, here's my question for you. Which do you think are the most and least sympathetic of ancient Greek mythological monsters? So that's our question for today. It's a big question.
It's a big question.
Big ass question.
Big question. But it's a good one. It's interesting because, monster. Look at me getting philosophical. Monsters, right? You think monster, you just think like evil beast. I guess at first thought you don't really think of monsters as sympathetic. Or like what monsters do you think of that are like likable?
That's a very good point. So in one of mine, without getting into it too much at first, I was like, if you consider this person to be a monster, like then sympathetic. Yeah. Like, even if you consider them a monster. If you don't, then, like, I guess it would be out of the question because maybe it's not a monster. That person I was considering Medusa, but... So,
it's so interesting you bring this up because I was sitting here going, like, is that really a monster? Like, an example of this. Centaurs. I'm like, I don't even think of them as a monster. But do you, like, where do you draw the line between, like, beast or animal and, like, monster?
I guess it's in like the acts, but then I was like, I guess like depending on the origin story, like is this quote unquote monster or character rather, I guess we could say, doing it purely because they just want to do that and they are a monster, or was this like done upon them? Does the story get
and
twisted?
That's where the sympathetic part comes in, right? Right. So yeah. So right away, a few came to mind. As soon as I started thinking about this, I'm like, monsters. Okay, I'm like, we got Medusa. We have the Sirens. We have Cyclops. We have Cerberus. And I'm like, Cerberus was just doing his job. Like, he's just like a little three-headed,
He's just a guard dog.
Guarding the entrance to Hades. Like, he's just living his life, doing his job. He's not a monster.
Right. So I was trying to like find something that was like maybe in his origin story, like something happened to him that like made him Cerberus what it was, but he was just like born that way from like two scarier monsters.
Exactly. So he doesn't count. And then I'm thinking like...
He's like neutral.
He's neutral. Same with like harpies. Like, what do you care about a harpy? They're just like, like little water demons. Harpies are the birds. Half bird, half woman. I thought harpies were like the what are the things that, like, the little water gremlins, and they have to, like, keep the water in their head.
I'm not sure I know what you're talking about.
I thought those were harpies. Wait, harpies are the evil bird things?
The, like, half women, half bird thing? Yeah.
Wait, are those the ones that were, like, eating dude's liver every day? Or was that just, like, a regular bird?
That was like a raven, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Or a crow or something.
He was just hungry.
That was Prometheus, his liver, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yes. He gave people fire. And that's why he got that bad.
We talked about this before because I brought up that little Prometheus and Bob cartoon that was on Nickelodeon.
Oh, yeah. Was this on the pod or was this just like off the pod?
I thought this was on the pod, but I don't know.
Same, but I don't remember.
Who remembers Prometheus and Bob? That was on Nickelodeon. It was like a short in between shows. I need people to...
Yeah, people have to let us know because I don't remember.
Let us know. I'm going to send you a video. It's great. It's great. But back to the mythological monsters. I mean, this is kind of how my thought process was going. Like I said, I'm like, I don't view centaurs as monsters really. Like, Cerberus, he was just doing his job. Like,
yeah.
I mean, well, we realize I don't know what a freaking harpy is, but
so I looked this up because I was like, oh, maybe these ones are like, I was trying to be like, maybe I should put these in least sympathetic, and then I looked it up, and apparently they were the handmaidens of Persephone, and when she was like stolen away to the underworld and married, Demeter like turned them into harpies or whatever, her Persephone's mother. And then they just, like, pissed off.
Yeah.
So, like, wasn't even their fault.
Exactly. They're not even in the conversation. So, like, they're done. They're not in the conversation. I mean, and then I was like, okay, well, Cyclops comes to mind, but I'm just like, ew, like, gross.
I didn't look that one up. I don't know too much about him.
I will admit that potentially 30% of the reason why I've settled on Medusa as my most sympathetic.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Is because of this commercial that's really popular right now. I don't know.
Oh my God, I saw that commercial so many times in the US, yes.
Right? And it's just like, I feel like that might be why she was the first one that came to mind, because she's been like in my face for the last 2 months. But
does make sense.
The commercial, she's like, she just wants to have a good time and party, and it's not her fault. Which, like, it's not her fault that she was turned into this evil monster. She was born human. Both her sisters were monsters. Her parents were sea monsters, but she was born beautiful.
Well, there's like some interpretations that are like that. Yeah, I think like she was just like born a woman and then was like turned into that by Athena.
Yeah, no,
right?
Yeah. So she was, both her parents were sea monsters, right? And then she had two sisters. They were the three of them were the Gorgons, right? So her two sisters were already monsters. Like, no one cares about them. So, again, they're not in the conversation. But she was, like, super beautiful, and everyone always spoke of her beauty and everything like that. And so then, of course, Poseidon was like, yeah, I want to be with her. She's beautiful. So he, like, woos her, you know. Basically,
well, you could use the sim term, woo-woo. Woo-hoo.
He woo-woos her. And so then Athena gets pissed off and she turns her into a monster. And she makes her, like, even uglier and more evil than her sisters. You know, like the snakes.
That's, like, one interpretation,
one evil look.
I think.
She can turn a man to stone. So this was
not her fault. Out of the fear of what she looked like, I think.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so then, right, Perseus kills her, and then he sneaks up on her. Like, the story, right? Like, he sneaks up on her. She's sleeping, minding her own monsterly business. He chops her head off, and then he still goes around carrying her head, using her beheaded head to kill people, to, like, turn people to stone. So I'm like...
Yeah, he's a piece of shit.
This was not her fault, and, like, she was
just, like, truly chilling.
Yeah. She didn't do anything wrong. So I feel like that's why for me, that's why she's my most sympathetic. I'm thinking of sympathetic in two ways. Like, I have a lot of sympathy for her, but then also I feel like she was a good person and could have had the ability to continue to be a good person, right? She wasn't just some evil monster right from the get-go, like, trying to kill people.
Yeah. I know. Yeah, I see what you mean there. Yeah, even if you take out the whole, like, Athena thing, because, like, some versions I don't think have that. Like, she's just, like, born one of the 3 monsters. She's just the only one who's mortal. Her sisters are, like, immortal, which, like, that sucks. Sucks to suck.
Yeah.
And even if you take that out, like, she's not, like, out here, like, roaming Earth, like, terrorizing people, I'm pretty sure.
Right.
Right?
I don't think so.
Like, Perseus is just, like, some king is, like, Polydectes is just, like, give me that head, girly, and he goes and gets it for him. I'm getting confused. But yeah, that was one of mine, too, that I was like, this is a pretty sympathetic character in Greek mythology. Mm-hmm. I also went with the Minotaur as being sympathetic. I think you went the opposite route.
Yes, very opposite.
So let me explain myself, I guess. I viewed the Minotaur, who has an actual name, which is Asterion.
Yeah, no one uses the name, though.
No, but it's like that, like, level, not level, but like that fact, like, adds another level to my reasoning, like my thought process, being like, okay, well, he has like a legit name, like something like, you know, and he was basically just bred out of like lust for a bull. So like, it's not his fault.
Yeah, the beautiful white bull.
Yeah. Oh yeah, is it a white bull?
Yeah, it was like this beautiful white Cretan bull, and it was supposed to be sacrificed, but it wasn't.
They wanted to pork it.
Yeah, well, it wasn't sacrificed because it was like too beautiful. So then it was like put out in this pasture, and so then I'm pretty sure it was Zeus who did this. He was like mad that they didn't actually sacrifice the bull like they were going to. So then he like cursed Minos's wife to like fall in love with the bull, and she like
I think you're
got
right,
someone to help her dress up as
Daedalus,
a cow.
right?
I think so, yeah. And she was like,
he's the one who like builds the labyrinth.
Yeah. She was like out there in the field, like dressed up as a cow, so she could hook up with this bull.
Yeah, I know. So like in my mind, I'm like, this little Minotaur baby situation, Asterion, is just like, he just was like rolled up and was like, this ain't my fault that I look like this.
Yeah, that's true.
This. And then he was thrown into a labyrinth.
Yes, he was locked in a labyrinth, but
sad. And then they gave him like a bunch of like Athenian kids to eat.
Yeah, they like annual sacrifices. They're like, here, have this child, feed the bull.
Yeah. So I felt bad for him.
When you put it like that, it is kind of sad, but I think like there's never any humanizing element to him. He's just, in all of my experiences, he's always just made out to be this evil, angry, human-eating bull. Like,
that's
obviously,
just framing
half man,
and context.
half bull. But like, and you never even, like you said, he does have a name, but who uses it? He's just called the Minotaur. So I'm like,
I think they use his name because like he is like the brother to Ariadne. Yeah. So like it is, if it was just like a one-off monster type situation, similar to like the Hydra, for example, was just like a monster, you know, like I would feel differently about it, but because it's like a family member that then it's just like treated very poorly. I mean, like obviously he's got some things going on like cannibalism and like at the head of a bull. But like, because he's like family in a way, it like seems like the story got twisted and now he was framed as a monster.
I think in my mind, I'm happy you brought up Hydra. I think of like Hydra and Scylla and like chimeras and stuff. In my mind, they're just so 100% like monster.
Big monster energy.
Yeah, big monster energy. I have a hard time saying like, oh, they're sympathetic or unsympathetic. Like, I guess in my brain, I don't equate. Like, I feel like that has to have like a more human element to it. So for me, those didn't even like factor in.
That makes sense. Wait, so you said Scylla?
Yeah.
But Scylla, I think the story of Scylla, she's on my sympathetic list.
Yeah, she is a human, and then she gets like banished out there, and she's got her little. Is she the one in the cave or like the whirlpool? Which one is she?
Yeah, she's the one who's the opposite of the whirlpool, which is like also a monster apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah, weird vibes, weird Greek mythology vibes. But she's on the other side. But there's like a few origin stories for her, I think. But like one of them is like she was basically transformed into that monster because she was like a nymph or something.
Yeah.
She was transformed into what she is out of like spite because like of jealousy and things like that. So it's kind of just like homegirl was just chilling. People liked her, and then people got jealous of people liked her, and then she got turned into truly a beast.
Yeah, another sea monster.
Nasty, nasty little thing. Unfortunate. I feel bad for her as well.
Yeah.
But I really couldn't think of anybody who was like least sympathetic because like you were saying, the list is just monsters and things and creatures that were just like doing it for the sake of doing it.
Yeah. So I guess maybe those should be the least sympathetic, right? Because they're just monsters and they don't think of anything else except for their like monsterly duties.
Monsterly duties. Yeah. I mean, I guess that, it makes sense. Right?
Yeah. I need to figure out what the thing is that I'm thinking of that had... They like lived in the water. They were like the little water gremlins. Did we figure that out? And they have like a dent in their head, and they have to like.
Was it a Triton?
Water. A what?
A Triton?
No, I don't think so. Anyway, these are the only things on my list.
I got Cetea. They look like fish. Katia. How about hippocamps? Harpies? No, we already said harpies. Harpies were in now.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking was harpies, but...
Oh, maybe it is Oh, JK, I was thinking that story that I told about Persephone and Demeter, those are sirens.
Oh, you were thinking of the sirens.
Yeah.
So I was right.
But the harpies were sharp gusts of winds.
I guess that makes sense.
We're looking up things on the fly now. They're like birds. Oh, also women with birds.
Am I commingling Harry Potter with Greek mythology?
Oh.
What were those things?
Yes, from the fourth book.
The water gremlins. I swear those were called harpies.
Oh, man, it's like on the tip of my... Grindylows?
Grindylows. Oh, yeah, but why did I think they were called harpies? Anyway.
I don't know. Grindylows? Maybe they have an equivalent, though.
Yeah.
Grindylow mythology. Let's see what comes up. Oh, they're in the folklore of England. JK, not Greek.
I swear there's listen, if somebody listening knows the Greek monster that's like a water monster and it has a dent in its head because it's got to keep the water in there, let us know.
Are you sure it's not Tritons?
I swear I didn't think it was that name, but maybe.
Fish-tailed sea gods?
And no, they weren't gods.
Upper bodies of men, lower bodies of fish-tailed horses? I don't know.
Hydra? No. We already talked about that. I don't freaking know.
Well, one day, who knows? Maybe a listener knows what we're talking about.
We can only hope and pray.
Yeah, at this point, that's literally all we can do.
I think we covered it.
We did. I'm proud of us.
It was interesting that we kind of like focus a little bit on the same monsters, but thought of them in a little bit of a different way.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, the list isn't super. I mean, there are like, tales of monsters, but it's not like, hundreds upon hundreds and thousands of monsters to go through. And these are like the bigger names, I'd say. I mean, there's like the Sphinx. I guess she's a bit of a monster. I don't know. Maybe she's least sympathetic. She just like kills people who don't do her riddle right. Yeah,
but I feel like I kind of identify with her. So
you hate stupid people.
Yes.
All right, well, thank you to Liv for sending in a message. We'll send Liv a postcard.
We will.
You can also receive a postcard if you call us at 202-630-4509 if you live in the United States. And if you don't, / if you hate the sound of your own voice, you can send a message in to amessagefrompod@gmail.com. Rate and review 5 stars on Apple Podcasts. You can also do that on Spotify, I think, now. And if you do, we'll read it like this one that says... "Da best. One of da best podcasts I've heard in a long time. The banter between these two is amazing." That's from my father. Okay, and
I love that review.
I know,
so
it's very
much.
funny. He spelled an at wrong, which is like even funnier. Check us out on A Message From on Instagram and amfpod.com for bloggy type stuff. And oh my god, today's the first day of the ab challenge.
Today is the first day of the ab challenge, so we hope you're all doing it with us.
Yeah, so you should check it out on amfpod.com. It's at there with vids on how to do the thingies and the loggy thingy-majiggy.
Perfect.
My abs hurt. I did it already.
So sore.
Ow. Okay. All right. Goodbye.
Bye.